Alright, so I've been wanting to make this video for a while because Minesweeper has always been very close to my heart. It was a computer game that I could always play pretty much because pretty much every computer I would sit down at would have this game. And a lot of people don't have as much fun with it as I do, I don't think. A lot of people haven't spent as much time playing this game as I have, and spending as much time playing this game as I have, I've learned quite a bit about it. And I've learned how to just kind of dance through without a problem, even on a kind of a difficult, this is an intermediate level Minesweeper puzzle. And I've spent so much time playing this game that I've figured out a few little tricks on how to just tear through a game of Minesweeper and not really have much of a problem with getting a nearly perfect record if you really take the time to sit down. And that's because it's not a guessing game, of course, as you know. All of these numbers correspond to the number of mines surrounding them. And so, in essence, it's actually kind of like a math logic puzzle. And I mean, those are two of my favorite things, math and logic. I think that's probably why I like it so much. But I don't know, I feel like a lot of other people don't play the game like I do. They don't spend as much time playing it, and probably nearly as much as I do. I mean, that's probably a good thing, but even still, I feel like this is a great game, and I feel like a lot of people, it helps you to think critically and really try to understand what's happening with the numbers and why those numbers are there. Like a 3 and a 2 and next to ones and stuff. Like, why is it that and not some other numbers? As soon as you figure that out, you can learn how to dance around here and just figure out what all of the safe squares are and what all of the bad squares are. And so yeah, and as you can see, I am just these are not guesses that I'm making. This is all I'm just using logic that I have previously. I've encountered these situations before, and I've figured out what they mean, and so I have learned to tear through those. And without having to really think about them. But in the next game that I'm going to play, I'm going to actually be taking some time to explain what it is that I'm doing, like what the logic behind my clicks is, so that perhaps you can also learn how to play Minesweeper a little bit better. So, as you can see, I've only ever played 3 intermediate games, and I've won 2 of those games, so I don't know. New game. Oh wait, no, not new game. Options. Advanced. That's what I want to do. Okay. Now, here we are on the big screen, and this is probably pretty scary for a lot of people. As you can see this number down here, that means that there are 99 mines in this minefield. And it's our job to figure out where all the safe squares are without stepping on a single one of those 99 mines. So, I'm going to start in the bottom right-hand corner because I feel like that's probably the best place to start, considering where my face is right now. And then I like to start a few squares off from the edge, and like 2 or 3 or 4 or so. And corners can be nice, but sometimes, every time I say that, I end up falling into a position where it's not a very good. That's a good starting click. Sometimes it's not so good. A lot of stuff we can do here, and this is if you've played Minesweeper before, and if you're watching this video, you probably have. These are all pretty easy clicks. These first few ones around the edges here. Working from the edges, I can see that there's a 1 here, and there's only 2 squares next to it, and there's a 2 here, and there's 3. I know there's only 1 mine in these 2, so I know that in this third one, I know that there has to be a mine. And these are safe squares. And there's a 3. Oh, I have a 3 here, and now there's only 3 squares touching it, so I know that's the mine, and this is safe. I know that there's 3 squares, and a 2, and a 1, and I've just done this so often that I'm able to, I can just process these numbers very quickly, I guess, and that lets me kind of see, it gives the appearance of me seeing through the matrix at points, because I can just, sometimes you can really move if you know where all the squares are and you have some speed going. Like, it's almost like a magic trick of sorts. You just be really good at Minesweeper. I'm not having a whole lot of luck here. This is, let's see what I can do here 2 here, 1, a 2, 3. Man, and because of these mines, these numbers actually don't really help me a whole lot. I know there's a 3 here, so there's a 1 in one of these 4, but I know there's a 2 here. I guess that means that this has to be a mine, and these, I bet, are... No, that doesn't, because there's a 2. There's only 1 here, so there has to be 1 here. Yeah, it could be anywhere. It could be over here, and then this 3 could be over here, or they could be sharing a mine in here. And there's not a lot I can work off of that. Man, I did get an unlucky click. In situations like this, you want to just find where your best odds for continuing the game on a guess are. And over here, I've got like, there's 4, but there's 3 mines next to it, so there's a 1 in 3 chance. The same goes for this 2 up here and this 3, you know, a 1 in 3 chance of finding a mine with a click. So, where do we click? I don't know, maybe here. Nope. And see, that's the thing. That's why my percentage for expert is only 23%. But why don't we play again and see what happens this time? Still going to start in the same area. 3, there's only 3 mines touching it, so I know that those are all safe. That was, you know, this is the, sometimes I get these squares, and I hate just the perfect squares sometimes because they give you the least amount of opportunity to really play off of. Trying to find some, you know, breathing room here. And so yeah, you can see that these are not guesses again. I'm gonna let you guys know anytime I'm gonna make a guess so that you can fully, you know, realize what how logical this game is. Like, it's so logical. It's beautiful. Let's find some goods here. There's a 3 here. Gives me a 2. Moving on. More 2s. A 3 up here. 1s. Alright. And I'm going to be specifically looking, like, these are all pretty easy moves that I'm making right now. I'm just, you know, some of them I'm making very quickly. And, but I'm going to be trying to look for some good logic areas. This is a decent one here. So there's a 3 here. I know one of these 2 is a mine. I know there's a 2 here, and if the mine is in one of these 2 squares, I know this square is safe. I mean, I knew that anyway because there was a 1 here, obviously. In fact, I can deduce that that's the mine from that 1. But I mean that when I play this game, I kind of just focus on the numbers and then I move along, and you'll kind of see me do that at points too. Like in that first game, I had a row of 1s in the bottom left-hand corner that I was working down. You can rewind if you want to, and then it wasn't until I got to the end and found where the mine was that I was able to go back and clear all of the other safe squares and mark the other mines. So there's one of these 2 was a mine, so I knew this was a safe square because of this 1 right here. Knowing that was a mine. There's a mine in one of these 2, and there's a 2 here. So if there's 1 here, there's got to be 1 up here. Sometimes, if that were a 1 instead of a 3, then I would know that, you know, these 3 squares were safe, and theoretically even this one, but I'm not sure about that. I've never taken like a probability or, you know, a statistics course or anything like that. I never got around to it. I feel like it might have spoiled my love for Dungeons and Dragons if I, you know, believed that there, you know, I knew about the actual statistics behind everything. I mean, I do anyway, but I don't know. I just never got around to it. So yeah, this is Minesweeper. This is what I spend. You know, I don't play it all the time, but when I do play it, you know, I enjoy it because even when I lose, I still kind of enjoy it because it was fun. I don't normally lose until I get to like unless I lose right at the beginning, like that last game we played. That was pretty bad. I did not enjoy that game at all. And that'll happen sometimes, but you know, this is a pretty good game. You know, it started off a little rocky, but I'm feeling a little more confident now that we've gotten rolling in it. 1s, 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 all simple moves here. There's a 2 here. One of these 2 is a mine. There's another 2. So if there's 1 here, there's 1 here. And I've got a 2 here, so I know these are safe. And there's a 2 here, which means that's the mine. And this one's safe. And there's a 3, so yeah. And you can see how quick it can become once you grow accustomed to reading the numbers and noticing how many squares are adjacent to them. It's I enjoy it quite a bit. It's it's a great logic game, and I'm kind of a math nerd as well, so that's probably also contributes to my enjoyment of the game. I always said if I had to write like a thesis paper for some sort of math graduate studies or some business, I wanted to write it in some form or another, focus it on Minesweeper because it was I just thought it was such a math intensive game. You know, you really had to think about what you were doing. Three here, two mines, one up here, three, another three next to it. That's one, two. I know this is a mine. Three doesn't help me a lot right now, but it might. Sometimes you'll be able to spot what are safe squares and be able to click into those and begin to progress the game, and that's also a lot of fun. There's a two up here, but there's only one here, which means that if there's ever a one next to a two like that, you know that both the mines can't be over here. You know one of them has to be outside of reach of the one. So I know that that is a mine. And because of this other two here, I know these are safe squares now. And there's a two, so there we go. Look at that. And it's just these little tricks, and you use the same tricks, but you just kind of extrapolate on them. You know, sometimes it's not a 1 and a 2, sometimes it's a 2 and a 3, or a 4 and a 5, or something like that. And then you just use the exact same trick, but you just extrapolate with it. You work it out. Ooh, that's always fun. 4, 4, 4, 2. Yeah, we're good there. Threes, 1, 2. This is bugging me. Not anymore. There's two ones next to each other on a wall. The mine had to be in one of these two because of this one here, and because I knew this of this one, I knew this was a safe square, and so that's why I clicked there. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. The third mine is in one of these three. Oh. Oh, what did I do? Why did I do that? I clicked like I zipped when I should have zagged. That was a flub on my part. I left clicked instead of right clicking to mark a mine. But anyway, I lost a couple games, but that's okay. Dropped my percentage down to a 23 from a 24. As you can tell, even still, it's not a very high success rate. A lot of times I'll get into a place where I have to make a guess. And at 50% of the time, you know, it comes down to a 50-50 guess probably 50% of the time, and then I miss that 50% of the guess, 50%, you know, I miss that. So it comes down to like pretty much like a 25%, and then I flub like I just did now sometimes. Not often, but it happens, and that, you know, I just have bad runs sometimes. It's kind of like gambling, really, because you get so good to a point where you can get it down. You know you can get it down. You could beat the game if the game were playing fair and weren't putting you up with like a blind guess at the end. But it looks like I actually probably could have cleared this if I hadn't been so stupid there. I probably could have cleared this mine. I would have gotten that, those. There would have been a 3 there, a 2's. Yeah, I don't know. I probably could have done that. Yeah, I didn't have much further to go. 27 mines though. Wow. The reason that I like to count my mines, I've seen people who speed play and they don't count their mines. They just try to find all of the safe squares because those are the parameters of the game. You have to hit all of the safe squares, not mark all of the mines. But I mark all of the mines because sometimes when you get down to it, like you get down to a tight corner where you can't figure out where a safe square might be, sometimes you can use the math of the mines to help you out. If you've marked all of your mines, you know how many are left on the board, and you can use that number to work for you. And you're like, oh, if there's only 5 mines left on the board, and I can see that there are at least 5 numbers marking where mines would be up there, or 5 unaccounted mines along the front row of like a pocket, using this top left corner as an example. If there were I could click on the inside of that area, and I would know that would be safe because all of the mines are accounted for on the front edges because I counted them all. So yeah, these are just little tricks and tips that you can use when you're playing a Minesweeper to try to bump up that win percentage and maybe have a little more fun playing it. It's a lot more fun when you win every once in a while, wouldn't you agree? All right. Give me your guys' tips and tricks for playing some Minesweeper. All right. I'm always interested to hear about what other people are doing with this game. Mainly because I don't really hear much about this game. Like I said, I'm the only person who really plays this game. I think anymore. I don't know. Could just be me. Who knows? Anyway, thank you all very much for listening. I certainly hope I'm going to see you all again very soon.